What's up, everybody? Dog 1985. There's levels to this. Welcome to another episode of the Gamer's Perspective podcast. Today, I had something else in mind, but this is the hot news that just dropped. So, Spider-Man 2 is gonna come to PC. Well, let's talk about this, okay? No need to doom and gloom, none of that stuff. We're gonna speak on it from the gamer's perspective. We're gonna speak on it very logically. Okay. Number one, for the PlayStation fan out there that feels some type of way when they see this, I want us to evaluate why we would feel this way. So for me, for instance, we bought Spider-Man 2. We bought the physical copy because my son still likes physical games. He played Spider-Man 2. He beat Spider-Man 2. My youngest son played Spider-Man 2. He beat Spider-Man 2. I have not played Spider-Man 2 myself, not fully at least. I maybe played an hour or two of it. So I would play this game again on PC. Now, for my two sons that have already played this game on the PS5 and have already beat this game on the PS5, this means nothing. This means nothing to them. So what that the game is coming to PC? If you played Spider-Man 2 already, this shouldn't matter to you. If you're a PlayStation fanboy, whatever, then Spider-Man 2 is definitely a game that you were almost obligated to play if you were going to claim that you were a Sony fan and you love their greatness and all this other stuff, right? So you've already played this game, you've already beaten this game, you've already probably platinumed this game. So there's nothing, this shouldn't bother you at all. This shouldn't bother you at all. Now, from the gamer's perspective, what you should be thinking is it beneficial, and only you can answer this, to buy a console for timed exclusivity? Because exclusives are no longer a thing for PlayStation. And that's we've been predicting this now for a while, right? All of their mascots, all of their big mascots are on PC. I think the only one that's missing right now is Astrobot. But everything that matters to Sony is on PC for the most part, right? So this game, Spider-Man 2, coming to PC, correct me if I'm wrong, does that mean that all of the Insomniac Spider-Mans will then be on PC come January 30th? As a gamer, then you have to decide, do I game on console or do I game on PC? And if you do game on PC or you have both, then is it worth waiting? Depending on what type of rig you got, depending on what type of PC you have, you might want to play Spider-Man 2 on a PC versus a console. Now, PS5 Pro is about to come out. And that's one thing where I feel like this could have been a little bit, to me, seems a little bit grimy. I don't know why they would announce this now when people have their pre-orders for their PS5 Pro. I don't know. I really hope that people don't regret buying their PS5 Pro, because PCs are in a whole different realm on their own, and yes, you have to dabble with settings and stuff like that, but if you're okay doing that, even in the slightest, you don't even have to dabble with settings a lot, but even in the slightest, at $700, if you think about $700 plus spending a little bit more money, you might get a better experience playing these games on PC. But that's a decision that you have to make yourself. Now, if you're an Xbox gamer, I'm telling you right now, as an Xbox gamer, all these moves that Sony is doing is making the PC platform look even more enticing. Now, as an Xbox gamer, I want you to know that Xbox fully supports PC. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Game Pass is even cheaper on PC. They fully support PC. Okay, so if you are a Xbox gamer and you transition over to PC, you don't really lose much. You don't really lose much. If you have a whole bunch of games that you have purchased on Xbox, then yes, obviously. But if you mainly Game Pass, then no, you don't really lose much. All that stuff is coming over. A few games, like some 360 games, you can't play natively on the PC, but if you switch over to PC, you can still play with the cloud. And I know most people, when they have their PC, for the most part, connect their PC directly to the Ethernet with an Ethernet cable, so they're not really using Wi-Fi. So you might have a decent experience if you want to play those old 360 titles on your freaking PC, right? So again, it's being fully embraced. Xbox fully embraces the PC platform. This is all good news, guys. I just wish that Sony would remove the band-aid and just stop pretending as if they're not going to go day and date, and just go day and date. Because this does nothing. What is someone, how are you going to justify buying a console? I want to buy the console because I want to play the exclusives 10 months before they drop, 12 months before they drop on PC, 15 months before they drop on PC. Like that, is that really going to be the excuse? Is that really the excuse? No. The excuse now is I'm getting the console because I like gaming on console. That's it. There is no more because of games and all this other stuff. The lines are getting blurred as to where these games are going. Or better yet, they're not being blurred. We know exactly where they're going. They're going everywhere. They're going everywhere. Xbox has already embraced PC, and Sony is doing it. They're just doing it at a slower pace, which again, I don't understand why. I don't know if they think that they're going to trick their fan base into staying. I really don't know what they're trying to do. I really don't know. I'm going to assume that Sony's way smarter than I am. So maybe they know what they're doing. Maybe it will work for them, right? Maybe it will work for them. But the way I see it, again, from the gamer's perspective, this is a great time to jump over to PC. I feel extremely lucky. I did get extremely lucky, even with my pre-build, even with how many people make fun of my pre-build. I still got extremely lucky. I have a AM5 motherboard, which means there's a new platform, takes DDR5 memory. I'm gonna be able to upgrade. My upgrade path is beautiful. My case is a decent size, so I'm gonna be able to fit bigger GPUs in it if I need to be. As of right now, the only thing it looks like they skimped out on my PC is possibly the power supply, but I can't even see what the power supply is unless I completely take out the power supply, and I just really don't. Right now, I just really don't feel like doing that. I showed you guys playing Ghost of Tsushima in my last video, the one before this, on the same channel, playing Ghost of Tsushima at 4K, right? Using FSR upscaling, which is the same thing that the consoles do. And I'm doing it with a 1080p card. I was talking to IsoMotion Gaming about this today. Look, if this low budget card, because it's an RX 7600, could do this, I can only imagine what a mid-range or a higher range card is going to be able to do. I can only imagine. But PC and consoles merging together, and these console companies finally realizing that someone that's playing on PC is not necessarily their competition. Like, hey, you're going to be able to sell your game on PC as well. Spider-Man will sell. I think Spider-Man 2 is going to sell well. But it would definitely sell way better if it would have dropped day and date. Think about the hype around Spider-Man 2. Think about what it would have been like if that game would have dropped day and date on PC as well. Of course, it would have sold great. And maybe the PS5 Pro is the answer for Sony to be able to go ahead and go all out day and day, because they're going to feel like now we have a powerful... Oh my God, that's genius. That makes sense. The PS5 Pro is the way... Oh my goodness, this is genius. How did we not see this? The PS5 Pro is the reason why Sony is going to be able to put games day and date on PC, because they have given their console core gamers a way to experience the game the same way most PC gamers are going to experience it. Actually, probably better than most PC games are going to experience it. And that's powerful. So if you're a console gamer and your game is going day and date on PC, you're not going to feel left out, because Sony is still providing you with a console that's going to be able to play their games just as well as a mid-tier PC. I think that's the goal. That would make a lot of sense. When the PS5 comes out, it'll probably be the equivalent to what a mid-tier PC will be around there. And then, yeah, they could drop the games day and date so that the console gamer doesn't feel jaded. I think they're learning from what's happening to Xbox. At least I hope they're learning from what's happening to Xbox. Because if you're an Xbox gamer, I mean, if you're strictly a console gamer, then okay, that's on you. But you know that the PC version of these Xbox games are better. The Xbox Series X is not playing these games better than the PC versions of them. And it is by a lot. There's a huge difference between 30 and 60 frames. Now, if Starfield would have dropped at 60 frames on the Xbox Series X, then we can argue that, okay, if you got a good PC, it doesn't matter, because at first, I don't think it had frame generation on at first. I think that came a little bit later. But it wouldn't matter. You would still need a pretty decent PC to play that game at 60 on PC and, well optimized and all that other stuff. But if it was optimized for the console, then you wouldn't feel jaded. Think about that. When, yeah, it makes perfect sense. When Halo Infinite dropped on the Xbox Series X and it dropped on PC, nobody was tripping that the PC had a better experience, because the Xbox Series X experience was still perfectly fine. The Xbox Series X, I think, had 120 hertz mode as well, 100 FPS mode as well. Forza Horizon 5 had a 60 frames per second mode as well. So no one's tripping if you played it on PC and had the better version, like the way better version. But as soon as games were dropping at 30 and you had an Xbox Series X, you felt some type of way that the PC gamers were not locked, especially when they gave us the excuse that, we want to make it more cinematic. That's why we dropped it at 30 frames. The PS5 Pro might be, wow, I didn't even think about this, man. The PS5 Pro really might be the Trojan horse to allow Sony to drop all these games on PC day and date. Oh my goodness, this is genius. The Sony ponies are even doing it right now. They're already comparing the PS5 Pro to a PC. So if they believe that the PS5 Pro is better than 80% of the PCs out there, or even 70%, if you buy a PlayStation 5 Pro and you believe that you're getting a better experience than 70% of the PC gamers out there, why would you care if the game goes day and date? Because you're still not going to go out there and buy a PC unless you're willing to spend a crazy amount of money. You're getting PC-like performance for $700. You're getting mid-tier PC-like performance for $700. Why would you care if Sony drops the game day and date on PC? You're still arguably getting the better version. That's actually genius on Sony's part. Wow, what if the PS5 Pro is the Trojan horse to allow Sony to go day and date? Spiderman 2 going to PC. It's not a problem. It is not a problem. Hey, what's up, Shino boy? Nah, I didn't go downhill. I'm trying not to be as distracted. But you don't have to sub, brother. You could just watch if you want. That's cool too. Man, it's crazy when you're looking at the screen right now and you're seeing Steam and you're seeing 3 PlayStation games on my Steam Big Picture mode. You're seeing Ghost, Ratchet and Clank, and you're seeing Horizon Zero Dawn. all on the same screen, coexisting. Halo Infinite is there, and then you have third-party games as well. And what does this come down to? Just games. That's all it means. It means that it's just games, guys. It's just games. Sony knows what they're doing. Sony knows what they're doing. I think it's time. People pre-ordered the PlayStation 5 Pro. PlayStation 5 Pro is going to drop. People are going to see how well the game runs and everything. And they're going to see that there are going to be some low-end PCs that might not be able to keep up with it, especially in certain areas. And it's going to create a sense of, I don't want to say a sense of security, but a sense of equity between PC gamers and those PS5 Pro owners, to the point where PS5 Pro owners won't feel jaded if Sony drops the games day and date on PC. Now, the Spiderman DLCs apparently got canceled or are not happening. And I would hate to assume that happened because they were instead working on helping. I'm assuming Nixus is the one that brought this over, because Nixus is the one that brought Ratchet and Clank over. They're the ones that brought Ghost over. I don't know who brought Horizon Zero Dawn over to PC, but I hope that the money that would have been spent on a DLC for Spider-Man wasn't spent on on porting the game to PC. That's insane. That is insane. If PlayStation is taking away content from their core audience to give content to PC, that is, oof. I don't know how PC gamers are going to feel about that. I'm sure Sony saw the numbers of God of War Ragnarok, how it did. They saw the numbers of all these games, how they did, right? And I think releasing this closer, right, not waiting 2 years or whatever it is probably them testing the waters to see how it does. And I think the better it does, the more they're probably going to be inclined to do day and date. Right now, when it comes to them releasing games day and date on PC, they are, what are they, 1 for 1, right? Helldivers did amazing. People would argue that Helldivers is alive or did so well because of PC, right? And then Concord is Concord, right? Concord is Concord. Helldivers came in a multiplayer live service saturated market and did extremely well. It had a different idea, and they did well. And Sony went day and date. I'm sure they recuperated a decent amount of money. I don't know if they regret dropping it day and date, because I don't know if Concord would have been something that people would have gone out to buy the console for, right? Spider-Man 2, we can argue, is a system seller. God of War Ragnarok, we can argue, is a system seller for some people, right? But again, if you drop it day and date on PC, unless you have a PC, a really decent PC, then it might be worth just getting the console, right? But if you got a PS5 Pro, you've solidified. No, you got to get the console, the PS5 Pro console, which is $700, but it's going to give you really good mid-level PC range type of graphics and whatever. And again, guys, go see what a low-tier PC like mine could do with games like Ghost of Tsushima. Go see what it can do. Even Ratchet and Clank, I was able to play it and beat it on my PC. Just crashed on me. But to be fair, that game has crashed on other people as well. You know? It just is what it is. I am okay with Sony's decision of putting Spider-Man 2 on PC. Obviously, as a PC gamer and someone that has transitioned over and left Xbox, more games on my platform, the better. My dream is slowly but surely coming true, which is I just want one box to play everything. I'm not a fan of exclusives, period. I'm okay if Xbox puts Halo on the PS5. Like that doesn't bother me at all. Like I think that's better. More people playing the game, I think it's better. I think they should have already dropped Starfield on the PS5. Starfield should drop on the PS5 Pro. Why not? Have a 4K 60 version of Starfield on the PS5 Pro. Why not? Have Starfield be one of the highest selling games on the PS5. Why not? I've already played Starfield. I've already enjoyed Starfield. Like why would I be upset about that? And even if the PS5 Pro, see, this is where PC gets dangerous, right? Because even if the PS5 Pro, when it finally does come out, let's say it demolishes my PC, and in a lot of games, it runs a lot of games way better than my PC. To me, the $700 are still not worth it, simply because I would put those $700 towards upgrading my PC. That's the only reason. That's the only reason. I was actually talking to Isomotion Gaming about all this, and if you have a PC and you game on a monitor at a desk, and then you have your consoles that are connected to your TV, then you still have a valid reason to keep your consoles and all that other stuff. For me, though, being honest with you, my PC is connected to my TV in the living room, and so is the PlayStation 5. I disconnected the Xbox completely because I don't see me ever turning on an Xbox game on my Xbox versus playing it on the PC. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. But PlayStation games, the reason I still have it connected is really because of Juju, because Juju likes the PlayStation and he still uses it to play Minecraft and Apex Legends, and he party chats with his both his cousins, one who's in New Jersey and one who lives here. But I mean, he still uses it. So, okay, we'll keep that console there. And there are some games that can only be played on console. So, like, for instance, Juju likes playing NCAA, right? His big brother bought the game, so they share it on one account. And he likes playing it. So, yeah, so there's still a reason to have the PS5 for now. But for exclusives, no. There's no point in me having the PS5 for exclusives, especially when I know the exclusives eventually are going to come to PC. Now it's just a matter of time. How long do we have to wait? I have not seen a PlayStation exclusive, and I'm just being, you could call me an Xbot all you want, whatever, but I'm being honest with you. I have not seen an Xbox or a PlayStation exclusive that has dropped this generation that I'm like, oh my God, I have to play that game day one. The reason I have played most of the Xbox games day one is simply because I had access to them day one, because of Game Pass. That's it. I'm being 100% transparent with you. I'm okay playing games after the fact. And to be quite honest with you, this generation has proven that if you wait, the game is going to get better. These games all get patches. Even the game that I'm on right now, Ratchet and Clank, when it dropped, it was good, but it still got a patch later on. Horizon Forbidden West, when I played it, it was perfectly fine. Like, I didn't have too many bugs, but some people complained about a lot of bugs. I remember Spiderman 2, people were complaining about bugs and stuff. I'm sure these games, after they drop and people play them and beta test them, essentially what you do, you pay $60 to $70 to beta test the game for the companies. Then they drop with patches, and later on, the games become better. I'm playing Ghost for the first time, and I'm playing the director's cut version. I'm going to argue that I'm playing the best version of this game. Not only that, but most people have played this game on the PS4, which, correct me if I'm wrong, the game was running at 30 frames, right? I showed you guys in the video before, I could play this game above 30 frames if I wish. I mean, above 60 frames. I could play it at 100 frames if I want. I'm playing the best version of the game because I'm waiting. Spider-Man 2 coming to PC, having a whole studio focus on just porting it to PC. I think that's a win. Sony, I think this is really smart. I think Sony's about to change the game. I didn't even see this coming. The PlayStation 5 Pro, is going to allow Sony to drop games day and date. Because now the console gamer won't feel jaded. So if you feel like, oh, PC gets the best version of these games, don't feel that way. Trade in your PS5, get yourself a PS5 Pro. And there you go. Why are you complaining? It's going to be very interesting next year and the next few years. Sony has to figure out a way to continue the revenue coming in, especially with Microsoft not being too worried because they know they got a cash cow in Call of Duty, and not just console wise, not just PC wise, but they have a very strong foot in the mobile gaming right now with cell phones and everything. Sony doesn't have that, so they got to figure out a way to continuously make money and make themselves relevant. It's going to be interesting to see the future. DocDog1985. There's levels to this, man. We out. Peace.